Good day, and welcome back. This is part 2 of a 4-part series that explains a Lua file and basically the thoughts that go into making the attack companies. There are 4 companies in this particular scenario, which is part of the TET DLC that'll be available sometime next year. I am coding each of these VC companies as they attack the small town of Tan Am that's here in front of us. Last time, we did take the opportunity to code this particular company, and today we're going to focus on this new one here, and it consists of 3 platoons, 2 RPG teams, and a machine gun team. But before we do that, we actually have a little bit of a housekeeping to go over. And what do I mean by that? Well, since our last session, Berto has modified how the garrisons work, which means I need to update my company that we did last time to rearrange where these garrisons are going to be located. Prior to this modification in the user.lua file, which is not something you should be editing, but this is where a lot of the main functions are available within the game, he has modified how the garrisons actually work. So I need to go in and change the garrison that I've included for this particular scenario, for this company, and change it so that the garrisons are referenced at the beginning, before all of this fun stuff happens. And and I have to modify how the units are classified. So let me do that, and I'll get back to you and show you what I did. 1 second. And just like that, with the magic of the internet and pausing, I was able to modify this particular section of code. I commented it out just so you can see where the information was, and it was here. So I commented this out, and I added the new piece of information into here. I also commented how the old units was referenced, so that entire company. So now it's referencing the 3 platoons of that company with the RPG team. And then I'm redefining that later on in this attack left vector, where here is the new garrison location. So it's not going to do any garrisons until Objective 11 is captured. Once Objective 11 is captured, which is actually down here, we'll see that, which is down here, we'll see that that garrison will go to Objective 11 and start to defend it. Otherwise, the rest of the company, which is the difference between whatever garrisons that we've created and our units, which is this, will be continuing on with their mission. So that's kind of how the new system works. And I'm going to finish off the rest of these 2 companies, and we'll come back here in a minute. And there we go, just like that. So this is the attack center vector, and I changed these. And you notice that I made the text a little bit bigger to make it easier to read as well. The Objective 10 garrison, whereas up here it was the Objective 11 garrison. Basically, I just repeated the same thing, and same for the attack right vector, also the Objective 10 garrison, because I want a garrison in Objective 10 for both of these 2 different things. Even though there's different things going on, they're very similar, just a little bit of difference, and that's all that we need. Okay, now we can move on to the next company. So let's take a look and see what that next company is. It is, if we go back to the scenario editor, it's this company here, and it is, there's 120 and 119. The 119 references which company it is, and if we go to our file, we'll see that 119 is this particular company. It consists of, as we see, 3 rifle platoons, supporting machine gun, RPG team, and another RPG team. For the main attack here, so we're just going to open this up, find this. Now normally we could just have it so that the entire company is going to be involved, but I don't want the machine gun to be involved in any of the attacks, So what I'm going to do here is separate that out, and I'm going to do that by using difference and adding a comma, and then just copying and pasting this here over here, and then closing the bracket. So now units is going to reference everything in this company with the exception of this. So this is a way that we can isolate that. And for me, as a reminder that we have a separate unit there, I'm going to do a quick copy and paste and add our machine gun here, because we're going to give this machine gun some missions that are going to be outside of whatever the main company does. So that is pretty well done. Now, what are we going to do? Let's go to our original battle plan and see what we planned. So we did 3 plans. So remember that this company here has been done, and now we're focusing on this one here. So we have 3 plans, and it looks like one of the plans is to just go ahead and attack both of these locations and then defend here. The next one is going to attack this particular location where the Arvin are, seize the objective, and then head this way. Finally, we have the company attacking into here first, setting up a defensive position, and then once that's taken, we'll go down and secure this position. We can assume, though, at that time, when this is happening, this company is going to come up here and try to recapture it. There are 2 things that we should, or there is one thing absolutely we should take note of in this case. This is a regular force. No, it's a local force, but it's a much better quality unit than this. These are local force units that are kind of like your, gung-ho local volunteers, whereas this is a proper rifle platoon. So you'll notice that the difference here, it is 1, it has a morale of 8, and 2, it has an assault of 7 and a defense of 8. Whereas this platoon here, they have a decent morale of 6, but only an assault of 3 and a defense of 5. So even though this company here is going to be attacking these 2 locations, these 2 objective locations, odds are good it's going to be a struggle for them. So we're going to want to have this company definitely helping for both of those locations. And both of these objectives, I believe, are 9 and 10. Let's just take a look. Yeah. So 9 and 10. So yeah, we have a company here. It's okay, but it's going to be better on the defense. So we were definitely going to want to have this company come down here to help secure this side of Tanam. All right, let's look at this, and we're going to go with just the first one, which isn't that complicated. We will just have it so that it does basically the same thing that this company here is going to do. It'll be random which one it's going to go to. It'll be a die roll, but we're going to make sure that they attack both of them and then set up a defensive position, and then we'll decide what we're going to do there, what the phase 2 of the operation for this company is going to be, because it is a strong company, assuming it survives. The main threats are going to be what's ever in here and this, and that's what we have to think about. So let's get that ready. And there we go. Just like that, we've set up the initial part, the attack left vector for this brand new company. And you can here, let me just go over it for you. So as you recall, what I did a moment ago is I split out that machine gun. So I took the difference of the main company minus the machine gun, and I've put down that machine gun down here. We'll figure out what we're going to do with that after. But for now, let's just go back up to what we're doing with the rest of the company. And what we're doing is we've set out a garrison for them, which is going to be in Objective 10. And we've now redefined the units again, and it's going to be all the units with the exception of the garrisons once that objective is taken. What are they going to do? Well, we're looking at basically the same as before. We're going to do a shuffle of Objectives 10 and 11 and see which one we're going to attack first. That'll be the attack sequence, so it could be 10, then 11, or it could be 11, then 10. We're going to attack strong for both of these because this is our strongest company, and because it is our strongest company, we're going to set it up so that if either of those objectives are retaken, we will make a point of trying to take it back. And then once both of those objectives are owned by our own side, we will defend normal in objective 10. Let's objective 11. Let's do that. Because we're going to have our garrison in objective 10, so let's just put it there. And then once that's done, we are going to say this variable is now true. Here we said if it's not true, then do all this. Once that's done, it will be true. And then if it is true, we're going to just hang around there. We're going to stick in around that area. We're going to stay at objective 11, and we're going to look around objective 11 up to 2 hexes away, and we're going to attack strong any units that are, let's see, if there's more than 4, we're going, actually let's change that. Let's see, if it's more than 5, defend strong at objective 10. Yeah, okay, so if there's more than 5 units, 5 or more units at objective 11 within this count, we're going to just defend really strong at objective 10. Actually 11. But if the objective 10 has been recaptured by the Arvin side, we are going to attack that for sure. And you know what? We're going to add one more little thing in here. Let's delete that and move it into here. And then if the objective count is more than, so let's say 2, and the objective count is less than 4, we are going to attack nearest. Attack nearest to hex. And then we're going to add a bunch of variables. So we're going to use units, and we're going to anywhere around whatever our objective count is, which is going to be 11. We're going to no worry about a direction, but within 2 hexes we're going to attack strong, and they have to be verified, so we need to make sure that we actually see those units. So that means an Arvin unit can sneak in there in that area, and we might not see it. So you know what, let's see. So we're going to be hoping that I'm thinking while I'm doing this. Let's actually change this. Let's have this and have another one, and we're going to call this objective 10. So within objective 10, so if there are units within 2 hexes of objective 10, which is the other one where we're not going to be defending, then we're going to attack strong any of those units that are between 2 and 4 strength. Now we can randomize these numbers, but I would just for simplicity, just to show you how to get started, we're going to leave it like that. Additionally, if objective 10 is captured by the Arvin, we're going to recapture it. Otherwise, we're just going to defend normal at objective 11, and then we're going to consider 10am east secured. I'm going to say and include this unit ID just so I know which unit is securing it. So here, this unit is now finished for at least the first part of the scenario. If we decide to continue on with adding some more additional things, but I think for now we're just going to leave it so that it's going to be defending and whatnot. Take note of this here. Notice that this is in red. This is telling me that there's a problem somewhere. And I know what the problem is. It's just the problem is I didn't end this loop. So if I press end here or type in end, we'll see that it should go away or not. If end no, that should have cleared. Okay, where is it saying there's an error up here somewhere? Here. Unexpected, then near attack nearest. Let's look for attack nearest. I just added that. Attack nearest. Ah, look at that. I double then. Yay for finding my issues. And now it's turned white, which means it's fine. Perfect. Okay, so we've basically done our first company. Just like that. Now let's take a look at the second one. What was our plan again? Let's take a look. That was plan 1. Plan 2 is we're going to attack this one first, and then we're going to attack. And that'll pin down this particular unit while this company tries to secure this. Now remember, again, this is a weak company, so odds are good it's not going to secure one or both. So let's start doing that. Let me set it up for you. And with this, we're going to use the attack center area. Should be fairly straightforward. Again, we're just going to set up a quick attack, and we're going to do that by saying, are we going to garrison that? Yeah, we'll garrison something. I'm not sure what we're going to garrison yet. We'll probably garrison objective 11 in the future, but first we're going to, if not, has objective 9, I think. Let's take a look. Oh, 8. So it says 8 there. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to say if not objective 8 secured, then we're going to attack it. We're not going to attack sequential, we're just going to attack strong. Attack strong. We're going to make sure that says 8. So basically it's going to use this entire company with the exception of the machine gun, head towards this objective and start attacking it. I could even do attack fanatical, but I don't want to be losing a whole bunch of units at the same time, so we're just going to use attack strong. There's no direction that it's going to be coming from, so it's going to try probably to surround it and do some assaulting as well as direct attack. And then else if it is owned, if objective 8 is owned by the VC side, we will defend normal and call it secured. And that's that. So that is part 1 of what we're going to do. So this actually needs to be here. If objective 8 is secured, then we're going to be defending normal at objective 8. Now, is that going to be good? No. So if we go in there and we capture that and not do anything else, then maybe we just push these units off, but they're still around trying to secure this. How are we going to deal with that? Well, we're going to do another attack nearest too. So let's do an objective count. And I'll add that to this. And we're going to call that objective 8. And we're going to do it 2 hexes again as normal, just if there's 2 hexes around objective 8, and we're going to spot them. And you know what? I'm going to say that if there are any of these units around, so we're going to attack strong, and then we're going to look around to see if there are any at all is greater than 1, then we're going to attack strong and try and defeat them. So that way, if by chance there are Arvin there that still need to be destroyed, we're going to absolutely take them out. And then we're going to say if the objective count is equal to 0, if there are no Arvin around, and we now own objective 8, then we're going to defend normal and we're going to call that sector secured. Then what are we going to do? Well, if that sector is secure, then we're going to do this. All we're doing is we're going to repeat this process up here as what we did before. So all we're doing is we're doing this first. We're going to attack this area first, and then we're going to come back up here and do the same mission that the company or the die roll for the left side would have done. So now we're just forgetting about this. We don't care about it anymore. We think that we've destroyed all the Arvin there. We may not have, but that's okay because this isn't our primary objective. This was just to destroy some units so we can prepare for not having that unit attack us in a counterattack. So yeah, again, all we're doing, just going to do the whole thing again. We're going to randomly pick objectives 10 and 11, and then we're going to go in and attack, and we're going to defend normal. And again, we will do this precise thing here. Once it's secured, then we're going to hunt around to make sure that there's no other units there. If not, we're going to defend normally in objective 11. There we go. That takes care of that particular mission. Super simple, keeping it simple just for this particular scenario, but there's still enough diversity in here to keep it interesting. And we're going to work on the attack right here in a moment. All right, now let's take a look at the final plan. And the final plan is we're going to go up, secure this location, and then we're going to counterattack this way and secure that objective before we come back and defend here. So let's take a look at that. Again, we can use what we've done already in the beginning for the attack left. What we did here is we can grab that portion, add it here. So what we're going to do is we're going to attack with this company up to here. Either one of these objectives, it's going to die roll. It'll either be 10 or 11 or 11 and 10. It's going to secure that. And then we're going to actually change where we're going to defend. Oh no, we're going to do it 11 because that's 11. And that'll be a good jumping off point to where we need to go. So after that, we are going to say it is secured. So let's do that. Here, we're saying it is secured. We're doing a quick look around to make sure that they're not here yet. Because at any time, these guys, if a computer, well, we're assuming that a human player is going to be playing this, odds are good they're not going to leave this whole entire company here. They're going to send some troops down here. So when we feel that this area here is completely clear of any Arvin, that is when we decide, okay, now we're going to move. So we're going to say that that is totally done. And now we're going to move on. What are we going to do? If the objective 8 is owned by the Arvin side, then we are going to attack along this road towards that. But what we're going to do is we're going to advance slowly. We'll probably advance a couple hexes at a time just to make sure that we don't run into these Arvin and instigate a firefight. Or we want to run into them and instigate a firefight while we're doing that. So how are we going to do that? Well, let's take a look at our reference list, which you can find in your manuals folder of your install. The Lua functions reference. Now we want to attack waypoint, I think. Is that what we want to do? Let me think about that for a moment. So yes, it looks like we're going to use attack waypoint. And looking at the example, we're going to do precisely something like this. I'm just going to copy and paste that, and then we're going to bring it into here. We're going to attack waypoint, and then we're going to find where it's going to go, which is, let's see. We are starting here. Let's turn on some hex coordinates. Then we're going to go to 4619. 4619. Then we're going to go to 4521. 4521. And finally, we're going to end up at objective 8. So let's grab that. Add a comma. Put in objective 8. And we don't need to attack fanatical. We should be able to just attack strong. So that means that as we're advancing towards objective 8, if we run into the Arvin, if they're coming this way at the same time, we should engage them and attack them. Not just sit there and fire, but actually engage them, which will be good. Now remember, this area here is secured already, so what we're going to do now, this is a brand new mission. We're going to come all the way down here. We're going to attack it and secure it. That's the plan. Else if it is owned, actually, else, that we don't care. All we're going to do is anything else, then we're just going to defend normal, and we're going to consider that objective 8 secured. Objective 8 secured. We're going to defend there within 1 hex, and that's that. Which means that this mission is done. And then the last mission for this particular company is going to be, if this is actually completed, then we are going to come back and do this. But we're going to change this variable down here. So what is that? What are we doing exactly then? I will show you 1 second. We're just repeating. Once this is captured, once it's secured, we know that there's nothing else there. We've done it, we've secured it. Now we're going to head back and we're going to defend back in these positions. And that's what we're doing here. It's going to come back, it's going to go through these, there's nothing happening here. So it's going to say, all right, we're going to come down and defend normally here. But we're going to change this variable, east defended. So that means it's done, it's not going anywhere else. It's going to stick around here and defend the main objective. We could just to do a quick check, we can actually do that anyways. Let's add another little variable here for objective 8. We're going to do a quick count to make sure that everything is hunky-dory and there's no one else around. So let's just say, we'll do the same thing as we did before. Else if objective 8, if there's anything, any size unit, we don't care if there's a maximum or not. We're just going to attack as close to it as we possibly can. So yeah, let's review what we did here. So for attack right, the final one, we do have a garrison set up just in case for objective, or for garrison when objective 10 is secured. And then here we go. Now we're going to start clearing this sector of Tanam. Once it's done, it's secured. We can just make sure that there's no one else around. We're good. And then if that is the case, we're going to advance down this road, secure objective 8, which is here. And once that, we're going to take a look around, make sure there's no Arvin. If there's any Arvin, then we're going to attack them and destroy them. Once that's done, then we are good to go. I think that's right. Pretty sure that's right. And then, once this is secured, we're going to head back to Tanam, the east side of Tanam, and we're going to take a look around, make sure that it's all safe and clear. If it is, we're just going to defend normally in objective 11, which is here, and call that defended. So that takes care of that entire company, with the exception of our machine gun. Let's take a look at what we want our machine gun to do. So I really want this machine gun basically to set up an ambush position at 4619. We could even randomly decide where that's going to go. Yeah, we could absolutely do that. Decide, pick one of these villages, one of these village hexes, defend here to make sure that if we're having an attack up here, that elements from this particular Arvin company are going to come up and they're going to run into that, and at least give us warning that, hey, there's something there. So how are we going to do that? Alright, so what are we going to do? We are going to randomly pick a hex that machine gun is going to occupy. It's going to occupy that hex until objective 8 is... As long as objective 8 is an Arvin hex. So, let's figure that out. If owned objectives 8, because that's our main Arvin, by the Arvin side, side, oh, damn toes, side, then we are going to defend normal. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at this here, and we're going to say our units, because that's what it is, but we're going to now utilize a little function. We're going to say it's from our Lua reference here, and it is random pick, and it's going to randomly pick from a list. So I'm going to select that and add that there, and what we're going to do is figure out which coordinates. So it's going to randomly pick from the set of coordinates that we're going to add. So I'm going to go 45, 20, 45, 21, 45, 46, 19, 47, 20, let's add a comma, add quotation marks, 47, 20, and do the same. It is, let's do 47, 19, 47, 19. Okay, so there this will randomly decide to defend in one of those locations. It will randomly pick one hex around. No, let's make it 0. So it's definitely going to be in that randomly picked location, because we want it to block the road, right? If it's going to be sitting here or here, it's going to be, you know, a warning to say, hey, there's something here coming. Okay, and then I think what we're going to do is we're going to have that defending one of those objectives if both of them are secure. Otherwise, it's going to stay in that ambush position. So we'll say else if owned objectives. Oh, wait, we need to wrap that. Objectives 10 and objectives 11. I can type, I really can, believe me, are owned by the VC side. Then we will defend normal, but we will randomly pick again between those two objectives. We're not sure which objective it's going to choose, but it doesn't matter. There we go. So it's going to, if this is owned, it's going to defend along here and protect our flank against any attack from this Arvin company. And if these two are secure by the VC side, then it's going to randomly pick one and defend in that area. Just need to make sure that we're doing this right. So random pick those objectives. We'll have to make sure that our other random pick is done correctly as well. Random pick here, not there. Okay, there we go. So now the brackets are in the right spot. And that's it. That's all we want to do with that. Sweet and simple. There we go. Now we have done this company, at least prior to testing, but we'll save the testing for maybe episode 5 or something like that. And then next we will work on, next episode we'll work on this company here. This company is another poor local force company. It only has assaults of 4, and defenses of 6. So it's actually better than this local force company, probably because it's a 63 version, so it has some better weapons. But this one has a leader, so that's kind of handy. We'll have to figure out how we're going to deal with the leaders, and I'll show you how to do that in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're finding this useful, let me know. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below. Once I get to the episode, 4 or 5, I'll post these codes into a document or something like that where you can download them, or I'll make them available on the Matrix Game site. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I know these are a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I'm trying to explain these and show how easy it is, because as you saw, most of it is just copy and pasting and, using your imagination a little bit. So yeah, again, I will continue this on episode 3 with the next company, probably in a week-ish, somewhere in there. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate you watching. Take care, smile always, and talk to you soon.